Hey, collective. Oh, how the tables have turned. That's what I just heard. So, we're congratulations to the group out here who's been doing a lot of work on yourself, healing, growing, focusing on things that build you up instead of things that have torn you down. Focusing on people who are there for you, who would like to intrinsically motivate you. It's almost like there's certain people, for those who are going through this, there are certain people that when you think of them, it helps you feel motivated, like intrinsically. Like you inside, you feel motivated when you see certain people in your mind's eye. And then there are other people that you see that make you feel stuck. They don't want you focusing on anybody that makes you feel stuck anymore. Everything that you need to know for now, you know. 101 on the clock, mirror. So there's something like whatever happened in the past with someone, you have all of the information about it, and the information is not going to get any more detailed right now. They just want you to focus forward. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh at this, but it just made me laugh so hard. Isn't this interesting? Look, I don't know why. Do you see how it's like this? It made me think of Oprah when she goes, "You get a car," but they're like, "You get a job, and you get a job, and you get a job, you get a job." That's what they just did in my head. So, it's so crazy that they did that. There's a partnership coming your way. If you've been putting in the work and focusing forward, it's like Source always wanted you to focus forward. Source never really wanted you to focus back, but there were things as you were moving forward that you had to look back on, process, and like learn how to move differently. So in order to keep moving forward, it's like you got to a certain point, but you couldn't go any further until you did look back and you did work through some things in the past, because there were perspectives that you were believing about life, perspectives you believed about yourself that were limiting. They were keeping you stuck in this really small world, and Source is trying to break you out of that small world. And in order to do that, there had to be a level of healings, 44 on the clock, of self-love and healing that had to happen so your perspective would change in the future. There is a lack of trust that you feel when it comes to connections in general. You do not trust people easily anymore because of the pain and the trauma you've been through. But in order to move forward, they want you to learn how to trust again. And in order to trust, that means you have to learn to be vulnerable. So you have, ooh, I'm sorry. that just caught me off guard. Let me. What? When you should have been valid, when you had figured many things out in the past, and it's like you were gaslighted intensely, like immense gaslighting was happening in some relationships here. And while you were actually seeing the truth, you were questioning yourself. And the more somebody made you question yourself, the more you started doing that and that pattern was shifting to every area of your life. You questioned yourself here, you questioned yourself here, you questioned yourself here, until you got rid of the peanut gallery, the stuff from the past. As you focus forward, that's the stuff that feels really good. That's what makes you feel like lit up inside. That's what makes you feel robust passion and confidence and self-assuredness, which is where you are now. But when you focus back, that's when the confusion sets in. That's when the toxicity tends to come back. And then it kind of crowds and muddies your way forward for a short period of time because you are processing those emotions. You don't need to rush this. They're letting you know now what 444, what they've been doing. They're having you move forward. It's like you're having you take 6, 7, 8 steps forward, and then they sit you there, and then they have you look at something and process something, and it feels like you're moving backwards because you've been feeling better and better and better. But and when you have to stop and look back, you feel like you're being taken back. You feel like you're being pushed backwards. You're not being pushed backwards. It's like you've made it to this point. Like, but there's a perspective. You need to get to, like, you are here, you need to get up here. Let's put my hand way up here. Like, you're here, you need to be up here. The gap between here and here, this is going to be you shifting your perspective on things that happened in the past so that you can learn to trust people in the future. It's going to require you to let your guard down, be vulnerable, and have a level of trust with certain people. You are afraid to let anyone in right now, and that is okay. Why is that okay? You just said you wanted them to move forward, so why is that okay? Because you're still surrounded by people that you really can't trust. That's why it's okay. So that's what a difficult spot to be in. Think about what a difficult spot to be in. You're being challenged to show yourself that you can trust again and be vulnerable while you're still around people that you can't trust and be vulnerable with. So you're trying to learn a new skill with no frame of reference. That's crazy. That's a big deal. Reminisce. What's that about? Somebody reminiscing about you. All right, they want me to pull some from this deck. Let's see why. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, came right back out. Oh, shoot. Oh, they read like a story. Hold on. We have admire that came out in reverse, and the 9 of swords came out right on top of that. Then we have fire sign, around winter, reminisce, and emotion. So whatever you went through in the past, there are people that you had experiences with that are going to start to be shaken up and woken up around winter time. They right now, and this is right now, they are realizing you don't admire them anymore. You don't view them in the same light. You don't put them on a pedestal. You don't think, it's like maybe before you thought, you listed all these great qualities that they had. Or now you don't talk to them. You don't feel, it's like you don't see those qualities anymore. Because the more you dissected your past and healed it, the more your perspective changed about what actually happened in the past. So while these fire signs are out here thinking that, reminiscing on the past and remembering good memories, or thinking of memories that they remember you being fond of, like thinking back on the memories they know you enjoyed, you don't see it that way anymore. And then, because that came out in a clump, and then another clump came out down here, and it is this. It came out like this. There's water signs involved, who has been focusing on self-love. And that self-love is the reason you no longer are admiring these fire signs, 44 on the clock. Because what comes around goes around. They didn't appreciate you, so you started appreciating yourself. They hurt you one too many times. It's like the final straw. It's like, I can't take this shit anymore. And you didn't make a big scene. You didn't make a big to-do about it. You just pulled yourself back. They always thought you were going to come back, and you didn't. Yeah, they always thought you were going to come back. But now they're realizing you're giving a lot to yourself. And because you are loving yourself, it's giving you opportunities that you never saw before. So that's awesome. Oh, I didn't even see this until now. The Justice card flew out in the future in reverse, up where this fire sign was. I've made too many mistakes. It's too late. they're upset, like highly upset, but they're upset with themselves because they had every opportunity to make this work and they didn't. And that's why they're panicked, because what? I just heard finding out. What finding out? That's all they just said, finding out. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. There was family involved here. So the family card fell on winter, reminisce, emotion, fire sign, admire in reverse, and the 9 of Swords. Some fire sign here feels like it's too little too late to reconcile and make something come back together and build a family. And they don't feel like the fire sign doesn't feel like whoever this water sign is going to accept them in the future. There. So accept them in the future, because you've got justice in the future in reverse and ghost. Yeah. It's separation. I literally just split to separation. They're confused about why things aren't coming back together. It's because before this relationship met in toxicity, when it separated, there's a water sign that started focusing on self-love, and that's why they are thriving. Where this fire sign, I don't see anything about self-love here. I see 9 of Swords. I see admire in reverse and reminiscing on emotions. They stayed stuck in this cycle. And now they're realizing that the water signs move far, far ahead of them and they're way behind. And they're panicking about this because they don't feel like they can close the gap because of stuff that's happened between in this gap. And they don't feel like the water sign will accept them again. Okay. They told me to stay focused on the signs. Normally, I don't do elements like that, but they did tell me to focus on that. So Aries, Leo, Sag for fire, and then Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio for water. Okay. What else? Oh, we got Cancer right there on the bottom focusing. I wish I could put my computer straight because I like to look this way when I don't know why, but like not looking at the camera. This wants to stay out. I saw the Chariot, which is a Cancer, and then I saw this 3 of Cups here. This was the problem. I'm hearing this was the problem. While those water signs who were focusing on self-love, the fire signs were focusing on companionship. Here's the truth for me. And I feel like this really could apply to anybody. I really do. If you cannot stay by yourself for 6 months without needing somebody's attention, affection, or sexual relations, then you do not love them. You are not in love. If you break up with somebody and you can't stay single for 6 months without jumping into somebody else's arms or somebody else's bed, you never love that person. There's a codependent energy where you feel like you need somebody to help you move forward. Because I'm not going to focus on the past. Fuck that shit. Why would I do that? I don't want to. That is what's keeping you from moving forward with your dreams. That's what's keeping you from understanding who you really are. And that's what's keeping you stuck in patterns and cycles you don't want to be in anymore. That you think, oh, I'm just meant to live this way. No, you're not. You are meant to expand. You are meant to grow and move forward. You see that map in her hand? And the love pocket on her ass? Yes, honey. Take that butt out of town. Take yourself exploring. Go see the world. Explore new ways of thinking. Explore new ways of feeling. Explore new ways of using your body. Explore new areas around you. I don't know. This is coming back again. Something about a crystal salt cave, that being around somebody and they don't know it and they would really benefit from going there. A crystal salt cave. It just popped in. Okay. Yeah. Oh, look how this fell out. See that? See how you had the Fool sideways, Two of Wands sideways, and you have the Seven of Swords sideways on top of this Three of Wands. Here is, here it is. Somebody is going to tell you they want a new beginning with you. Somebody's going to tell you they're ready for this new beginning. This came out sideways. They're not ready. There's a wobble in their vibration, which means that one day they'll be good and then one day they won't. The first half of the day they'll be good and the second half of the day they won't. One day they're really hot and intense for you and the next day it's like, meh, they don't even want to think about you. They're too hot and cold right now. And they're going to tell you that they want to make plans with you, which also came out sideways. They're not making plans. It's staying sideways. And the truth is, they're only going to tell you they want a new beginning with you and that they want to make plans with you so that they can come in and take something from you. There's not... I just heard there's not a single ounce of truth to what they're going to say to you. Not a single ounce of truth. They plan up trying to blow smoke up your ass from the very beginning. Big crocodile tears. I swear, baby, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. And they're going to say the right things. They're going to look up all the therapeutic buzzwords and they're going to make sure that they say all the things that they think is going to hit your heart. They are literally just trying to affect you so that they can get something from you. I heard gambling debt. Yeah, I just heard gambling debt. No. That's why that energy is struggling with with the Nine of Swords sideways, the fire signs, and the Nine of Swords sideways. I also just heard Gemini. Yeah, you can't help that somebody else didn't want to move forward with you. You can't change that, but you also can't go back. Whoever the water sign is, you can't go back now without you taking like a lot of steps backwards. Because you've moved so far beyond this energy emotionally that there's too much of an emotional gap between you two. So it will affect your manifestations. If their energy is tied to your energy, and I'm not saying you are, let's just say you're pure positive energy and they are very dense. There's going to be a wobble there. You know, reason there's going to be a wobble because you're interacting with this person, communicating with this person. And if your wobble free meets their wobble, what is it going to do? It's going to make you wobble. Typically, it makes you wobble unless you're really dominant in your vibration. But if you do have the dominant vibration, guess what? You're not going to be interacting with people who cause a wobble. You're not going to want to interact with them. So it's like it naturally, when you raise your vibration, it naturally like sifts and sorts who needs to be in your life and who doesn't. And that's what's happening right now. Your self-love is taking you places. Oh, look what came right back out. It's taking you places. Yours 9:16 on the clock. That's my mother's date of birth. That died. She's my angel. Yeah, taking you places. Mm-hmm. I just heard freedom is yours in just a few months. 33 on the clock. Whoa. They want all these out. Okay. So I had the star card fall on the ground. You had the Three of Wands here. The Eight of Pentacles came out, not straight up, like it's like this on the Three of Wands. And then you have the Two of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles like this. Two of Pentacles is like this. And then you have the Chariot flat like this. So it's reading from like the bottom up. So you have been healing. You have been growing and expanding yourself with your spirituality, with your spirit team. That is vitally important for me to say. So if you are not doing that, if you're not consciously working with your spirit team or doing spiritual practices, they want to point out that this message isn't going to be for you. This is for a group who's really likes to practice spirituality. So you've been healing and growing, and as you heal, you start to see opportunity. You start to see expansive ideas that weren't there before. And not only do you start to see them, you start to believe you can attain them. Through your healing, that's the best thing about the body. You would think, why should I sit around and cry? Why should I sit around and drudge up the past and cry about that? Well, you don't realize it, but when you pull that up and out of your body has a natural resetting mechanism built inside of it. So you will naturally start seeing things from a different perspective and a different point of view. You will. Once you get to the point that you are consciously purging this stuff with your spirit team. I could not be this successful without them. It would be just like going to a therapist, giving lip service, and then one human being trying to figure out another human being without fully understanding what the hang-ups are of the human being, because there's just talk therapy and you're just talking about problems and talk, head, not enough heart. Okay? What is happening is your ideas are expanding, opportunities are becoming available to you. You're starting to see where you can make some changes and move forward. But you're also seeing that there are skills that you need to create within yourself. 2202 on the clock, 222. So there are skills you need to create within yourself in order to have these expansive ideas come about. So you have the dream, you have the expansive idea, you're going towards it. And the way you go towards it is by learning these skills, practicing and honing in on some skills. It could be your spiritual just your spiritual practices. It could be something physical that you're doing. Several physical things that you're doing. So right now you have the dream, you have the expansive idea. You're in the process of moving into learning how to navigate these new skills and understand what you really are capable of. Ooh. This is interesting. The more you focus on this and the more you prioritize yourself, that's so weird. What? Something about you prioritizing yourself this way and going after your dreams, really honing in on these skills, it helps you balance your life out. But somehow in that balance, it makes somebody else lose a vehicle. I don't get it. That's their karma. I just heard there was something they did to your vehicle. And since you didn't retaliate because you didn't know they did something to your vehicle, just maybe you just got it fixed or got a new car. I don't know what you did. But there's something that somebody did to your vehicle. And as you started healing and you didn't match that energy trying to retaliate and you just kept going forward, this other energy stayed focused on you. And they were really happy that you didn't have a vehicle. They were happy that you didn't look. It's like something about making you look bad. It was really about making you look bad, keeping you stuck and making you, it's like they want to emotionally punish you. So they find ways to do that, to cause emotional reactions in you. And that is what happened. And they felt fully satisfied with what they did. And as you heal and grow, this person is going to lose a vehicle because of it. It's like eye for an eye. I've never got a message come out that way, but they were very specific about it. That's interesting. All right, I'm going to leave it there, you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Love.